if they have a goal, they just have to trust on themselves and know that everything is possible. This country gives you tons of opportunities that is hard to get sometimes in our countries. I do want them to know that things are magical. No, I think there's always happiness coming. So I think when you think you're like the happiest, I think there is some moment that it's gonna be another happiest moment, you know?
All right, welcome to the Rad Dad Podcast. This is episode 40. I have my good friend Felipe Munoz here. We actually met because our wives have been friends for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I guess we've kind of known each other for years, but recently we've hung out a little bit more and stuff. So just to start off, tell me about your childhood and maybe some highlights growing up.
Okay. Well, I guess it's way different from like a story from here, United States. Yeah. Because I'm from Chile, so I grew up there, and I don't know, like when I came here, lots of the kids and stuff like kids will usually have and stuff, well, like kind of like impossible for us to have, but I think we didn't know because all my friends around me, like they had the same as me. Mm-hmm. And it was really fun. Like we could enjoy and have like so much fun with just simple stuff, you know, like, and we had we were really lucky with my family, my cousins, that we had some like property on like south part of Chile, so we could, you know, have the opportunity to go like, you know, to a good place when we got to, you know, for like a trip, for like vacation time and stuff. So school was really different too from here. We have to wear uniforms, you know. Oof. Like is that right, uniforms?
Yeah.
And then
that's a lot of Latin America, right?
Yes, because I went to Colombia for 2 years, you know, like a missionary too, and all the people in there were kind of having like the same. So like I guess like all the countries in, you know, like Latin or like Hispanics, you know, we are probably really the same. So school was different. I didn't really love to go to school though, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, school was, you know, great, and family time was great. We didn't have much, you know, but we weren't like poor either, you know. But yeah, we enjoyed it. I mean, I love it. So
So when you were younger, maybe early teenager, what did you think about America?
Oh, so it was just something that we saw in movies, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just like America is just the movies. They speak English. Like all the music most of the music is from there, you know? There's a lot of people that they'll listen music from here, you know? And but yeah, everything's just like kind of like fake, you know? Because you don't really think that you're going to be there sometimes, especially when you're a teenager, you know? It's something.
Did it feel like a dream?
Yes. Because when I grew up and then I decided to come here, it was like a big change, you know. So it was kind of like definitely like a dream. Yeah. Something.
So how old were you when you came to the U.S.?
I was 22.
22.
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
How hard was that decision? Because at that point you're an adult. You've lived away from your family for 2 years. You kind of know who you are.
Yes.
Talk to me about making that decision.
So okay. So I didn't, like, as I say, like I went to school, you know, high school and all that stuff, but I didn't really like enjoyed it. Like I didn't know what I wanted to study, like university stuff. I didn't know what to do. So I went to Colombia for these 2 years, and then I came back, and then I was like, what am I gonna do? You know, because that was the time that I needed to decide who I wanted to be, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, should I study this or like? And then some friends talked to me about like going to United States and study their English, fill all these papers and applications. I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. And then when I decided that I wanted to do that, I was like, you know, I prayed a lot, you know, and I went to the temple too, and then I realized that I just had an answer, and I asked my parents too, and they were okay with it, and they were like, okay, we're just gonna be with you on this, so you're gonna be good there. And then like it was kind of fast, because after I came back from Colombia, I spent 8 months just trying to save some money, but I was really like, I already decided. I knew what I wanted. I wanted to do that. I got the answer, so I was like, let's just go for it. So
it's got to be hard leaving your family again after the mission, right?
Yes. But we felt pretty close to, and then being like far away from the family, knowing that you could use your phone this time and you can video chat makes things so much easier, and then I was okay with it. Yeah.
So did you have connections here in the US that were able to help you and kind of
so
advice?
I have my aunts and uncles in here, like from my dad's side of the family. And my dad just called my uncle, and he's like, can you take Felipe for a couple of weeks or like a month while he prepares, save some money so he can go to Utah. This was in California.
Okay. So you knew you wanted to come to Utah.
Exactly, yes. Okay. I was sent to California. I just can like work a little bit, and then I saved some money, and then I came back here came to Utah for my first time. So so that was the connection, my uncles and aunts.
So when we first met, you knew English, but you were not confident.
Yeah, no, and sometimes it's like times that I like right now I feel pretty good, but when there's like tons of people around, and everybody's speaking in English and telling all these stories, I'm kind of like really quiet. I don't really, give my opinion. I don't know if I'm afraid of it. I'm just quiet. I guess in English I'm a little different, because
it's
in
hard
Spanish
to
I can
express
just
yourself.
Exactly.
The
Yes.
same.
Yes. But in Spanish I can just talk forever.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like I could, add too much to the conversation if I do it in English. But
So real quick, just tell me the story of meeting Cami.
I came to Utah to study English, so that's why from California to Utah, and then I needed to, I wanted to meet some friends, go out. Everything was super new to me. Everything feels like a movie, like this time I saw the movie and then I was in the movie. So it was really good.
Was it like really exciting or kind of scary?
No, it was great. Like everything, like every corner, the street, how clean the street was, how people will be speaking in English the whole time. Yeah, the food was amazing,
Awesome.
And people also looked really different, there's a lot of blonde people here and stuff.
Yeah.
So everything was great. So I was studying, learning a lot of English, because I didn't know anything by that time. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't have much money, because I saved some money in California, and then I came here and I didn't have much. Like from Chile to United States, I just came here with $5, and I borrowed $1,000 to be able to pay the first semester. And then I went to California. I saved like maybe $4,000, like $3,000, $4,000, and I came here. Like I got some stuff to do, and then when I decided that I wanted to have fun, and this is answering your question, I just wanted to do what was the cheapest, So I went to Salsa Club in BYU, which is free, and that's where I met Cami.
Okay.
Yeah, whole story just to tell you, that's how I met her.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Yeah. So we'll get a little bit more into that, but just to rewind a little, do you remember the first time you thought about being a dad?
And I think it was in Chile. Like I knew somehow.
So pre-marriage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, like somehow the church teaches you, like someday you are gonna be a dad. Someday you are gonna have a family, and at some point when I was maybe 18 or 17, something like that, I thought about having a family, and I wanted that. It's something that I always wanted.
Yeah. So how did that perspective change or grow when you met Cami?
Oh, like a lot. Because when I thought about being a parent, I still thought that everything was going to happen in Chile. And then when I came here, I was like, okay, that wasn't like really part of my plan at the beginning. And then I came here and I was like, be a parent here could be way easier than could be in Chile. So I was really excited, and I knew that I could do it, but I was really nervous too, because you don't prepare yourself enough to be a dad until you are a dad, you know?
Yeah.
So
No one,
yeah.
no
And
one
it's still like you
is
learn,
prepared.
you know, I'm still learning how to be a dad, you know?
Yeah, me
so,
too.
so,
Me too.
Yeah.
Talk to me about dating. I mean, cultural differences. Was that hard?
At
Or
the
was it just
beginning,
exciting?
it really was, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was hard and exciting at the same time
Yeah.
because I knew that I just wanted to date like girls from United States, you know, but I didn't know any English, you know, or my English wasn't good enough at that time, you know. So I just had a hard time too. I had fun too, and I went to dates and stuff, but the English was really hard for me because I couldn't get, you know, too far.
So how'd you find out that Cami speaks Spanish?
Oh, because
Did you approach her in Spanish?
yeah, the same way, because I
Okay.
couldn't explain myself good enough, and she was like, "Oh, I also speak Spanish because we serve a mission too," and then everything went much easier
Yeah.
since she said that she spoke Spanish. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
And so how long did you guys date before you were married?
About Cami knows this better than me, but probably 7 months or something. Like
So it was
that.
pretty quick.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah.
I mean, normal for
Yeah,
Utah, right?
Yeah. yes. But yeah, I know a couple people that they're dating forever. But
Yeah.
But yeah, we felt good, you know, and yeah, we got married. So.
So
yeah.
did you have, while you were dating, did you two have conversations about your future kids, the way you want to raise them, where you want to raise them?
Yeah, I remember we wanted to have kids.
Yeah.
But by the time we were married, I think we got like a year or like 2 years married without having any kids, you know. And I knew I wanted to have kids, but Cami, you know, she started like, should we have a kid, you know? And I was like, yeah, we could have a kid.
You were all for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was excited. And by that time, we were also living with my my in-laws, so. Money-wise, it was really, and you know, I mean, it was easier, you know, to prepare being a dad, parents, when we knew that we have their support, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
At what point in this timeline did you start pursuing your business that you currently have?
Oh,
Or I guess let's back up a little. While you were dating Cami and that, what were you doing for work?
I was working as a painter.
Okay.
Yes, because I couldn't do much at that time, because when you are studying from other country, you just have a studying visa, you know,
visa,
a
right?
student visa.
Yeah.
Yes, so you don't supposed to work, but I couldn't afford paying anything, you know,
Yeah.
like I needed food the next day.
Yeah.
So it was
kinda
it
under
was
the
tough.
table.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, we did that, and then as I started like painting and learning a little bit more, I kind of like started liking it, getting really good at it, you know. And then at some point when we were like, after we were married, then I was just like, okay, I have enough customers that I could just do my own, you know.
So you built up your customer base, and then at that point, you were like, I have enough that I can support my family.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because I was working for a company as a painter, and then winter came, and these really nice guys from Uruguay, they couldn't give me more, you know, projects. So I had to find other things to do, you know. And I found this other company that they hired me to do some mudding, like all the texture and all that stuff, and drywall. And I just learned it really good too. And somehow my mother-in-law, Judy, she started like saying like, hey, Felipe can do this. He can paint. He can do mudding. He can do drywall. So little customers, small jobs doing. And somehow people started liking what I did at some point that I was like, I couldn't do a much on the job that I was working, you know, that I needed to decide, do I want to do my own, or should I just still be responsible, getting done my job on time, you know? So I was like, okay, I'm just going to quit and do it myself. So
no matter how prepared you are, it's still a big jump to go off on your own, right? It's still scary no matter what.
Yes, because in order to do that, you have to have all the tools, you know? And I didn't have anything, you know? So I have to spend like, the first time I spent like maybe $4,000 on like all the tools that I needed.
You're like, oh my
you know,
gosh.
and Cami was like, did you really like? And I'm like, yeah, I'm serious about this, you know, and I really want to do this.
Yeah.
And somehow I just got better, and people start liking it, you know, getting really busy. and by this point, like if there's some tool that I need, I just buy it, and I always know that it's worth it, so but that was one of things that I was kind of like afraid, like investing and be like, should I go for it, so yeah.
So how do you think your experience in starting a business is different as an immigrant?
Well, for me, it wasn't that hard because I always had the papers, because when I was a student, I changed my status to resident because I married Cami. So I have everything. If I wanted...
At that point, you were clear to work.
Exactly, yes, exactly. Because I had permission and I had my social security number, and I got everything. So it wasn't like really hard for me to get out that stuff, Plus, Cami helped me a lot because I didn't really know how to fill these papers, and she looked in the internet. So she was like a really important part of the business at the beginning because she did all the legal part, I did the hard work. She did all the legal, all the computer and all that stuff. So
did you have any self-doubts? I mean, you're in a foreign country, different language, completely different culture settings, and you just step in and start a business. Like, to me, that's very scary and intimidating.
Yeah.
Did you have those doubts?
Yes. But again, like what I think it made me be more confident about it is like people always like what I did,
Yeah.
So I guess like people, and that's the thing, like I did some work, they pay me, and they pay me extra, and then I got different family, they pay me extra again, so it was like people is also giving me tips, so I must do good, so I must be good at it. So
where did you learn hard work?
With these guys, like I have actually I think what it made it easier for me, it was since I was a kid, I was a hard worker, like I remember being like 8 years old and we didn't have much money on our family and stuff. So my mother had to work, my dad had to work, and I remember my mother was working in like a cemetery selling flowers, for like
headstones.
Exactly, it's headstones, and there was a little like parking spot that if I went there, I could kind of like direct like the drivers, like, just park over here and I'll take care of your car, because people steal cars there, so I was like, I can just take care of the car while you go and do the chopping of the flowers. And they came back and they give me money, So I remember being like 7 or 8 years old and already worked, not because we needed for the family, but because I knew that I was going to be my own money. So I was a hard worker since a kid, and then when I grew up, I helped my dad a lot to do construction stuff there. So when I came here, it wasn't like unfamiliar, it was kind of like, oh, I already know how to do a little bit of construction. I learned how to do it here because it's a little bit different, but I just became good. But I think everything started when I was a kid because I already worked a little bit. So
that's kind of what I figured. I mean, I think it's very important that we teach our kids hard work. And I also think that it's getting harder to do that. Because everything is so easy. Your kids are going to have a completely different childhood than what you had. Right? There's no reason for them to go hustle at 7 or 8 years old.
No, not at all.
So I've had this discussion before. It's like, how do we teach our kids hard work? And I'm still figuring that out. Right? But I do think it's important because look where you're at now because of it.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've seen on social media, these people love to post their morning routine. And they take like an hour and a half doing their whole morning routine where they do an ice bath and then they wash their face and brush their teeth and blah, blah. It's like, maybe that's important, but I think what's more important is just going to work. Right? When in doubt, just go work. Do you feel pride in where you're at currently?
Yes, because I think I deserve it, I think my family deserves it, and somehow I just worked so hard in order to be where I am right now. So I think it's good to have what I have right now. I'm really grateful and I feel blessed. So.
And you've given other people really good opportunities, right?
Yes,
Other
yes.
immigrants.
Because when sometimes I get like a big job, something that I need like 5 guys help me out so I can get things done faster and stuff. I do give them the opportunity to work.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of friends that they're always like asking me like, hey, do you got something that I can help you out, because I really need to do it. So yeah, it helps other people too. So I think, yeah, it's great. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the difference between people that work and they work hard and they're skilled, and what's the difference between them and you who actually took the leap to start their own business?
I think a good step is, and also something to consider is speak English, because I'm not really good at or perfect at English. My English is not that perfect, but I think you have to be good enough in order to go to a house, take a look, take some pictures, do some measurements, and talk to the customers and show what you can do. Explain them why they want to hire you.
Yeah.
So I think English is a good part of it. And to answer the question, I think like if other guys can have that and they know how to work, I think it's something that they could have easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Do you feel like your life has gone pretty much how you expected it, or
No. Oh, well, now that I'm here, yeah, at some point, yes, I'm like, okay, I'm achieving this. But when I was in Chile, no, I don't think I like have this, visions.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was going to live in Chile.
Yeah.
So
was your original?
I'm getting way more than what I wanted when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, way more. Yeah, way more.
So was your original plan to just come learn English and then move back to Chile?
No, I knew that I wanted to get married.
So you knew in your head that learning English would open up an opportunity.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
What that is, you didn't know yet.
Yes,
but here you are.
And
now.
also, I didn't know that I could speak it like just like how I'm speaking right now. Because I was terrible at English. Because in school they teach us English.
Yeah.
But I was terrible. Because I wasn't really a good
student. You just
student,
know all the swear words, right?
But yeah, when I started learning it, I really liked it, and I was getting like good results on the tests and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm doing it,
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, okay, I like that. It's going good, So
yeah. So just to switch gears a little bit, your kids are bilingual.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I don't know if I put too much work on it. It's kind of like natural for them. I think who has to do more work on it, it's Cami, because it's more natural for her to speak in English because she's from here and all the families from here and all their my kids' cousins, they are from here, so they all speak in English. So I think it's harder for her to talk to remind herself that I have to speak in Spanish to them, But for me, it's just I just speak them in Spanish. So
yeah, I guess
that's
it's not even that hard for you.
I don't do anything.
All the credit goes to Cami.
Yes. Yeah. Well, sometimes I think like when they're like talking and they don't say the sentences good, you correct them. But it's something that you do in English with your kids too.
Of course.
This is how this is the way you say this, instead of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't work too much on that. So.
I would love for my kids to be bilingual. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think it does rewire your brain to think differently and critically. So it's a very good skill to learn.
Yeah. That's good.
What do you want them to know about your culture, and Chile, and home?
And this is something that I sometimes I mention to Cami. I'll probably, I do want them to know that things are magical, they don't get to go to Disneyland because of they want it, it's because behind it there's Cami supporting me, and I'm working for them in order to go there. So I just kind of want them to teach. I want to teach them that you gotta work. There's something hard behind everything, So I just want them to know that, and somehow I also want them to know that that is was hard for me, and I didn't really have what they had. And I think that it will be a good idea if we could live maybe 1 year in Chile so they could go to school there,
Yeah.
or any other country so they can see reality. Because I think most of the countries are more like similar to Chile than here. Because here, I mean, I'm not saying that everything's perfect and easier here, because people is really hard work here too. But I would like them to see other cultures, and maybe they'll have the opportunity to know me better, or understand me better, as they grow up. So
that's awesome. Is it important to you that your children understand where they come from, their ancestors?
Yes. Just as I said, like, I think it will be good if they understand where I came from, and also they can kind of like see the difference between Cami's family and my family side, so yeah.
Talk to me about why it's so important to you and Cami that your kids are able to travel.
And this is something that I've been thinking lately, because we started this YouTube channel and stuff. Sometimes I have to work too much that I come home and the kids are already asleep, so I don't have to see them on the day. And sometimes I just gotta be out of town working in Idaho or St. George, and Cami has to be dealing with 3 of the kids, and she has to be with the new baby that she was, she was just born. And what motivates me to travel is that I can be with the entire family 24/7, so that's really good, because we can be together all the time. Plus we have all these fans, so
yeah. I think from an outside perspective, people see a channel like yours and they're like, oh, this rich family gets to travel all the time.
No, there's a lot behind.
But it's a lot.
Yes.
It's way beyond that. It's actually, I think Katie and I kind of have the same perspective. We cherish those moments. And also it's very important that our kids, like you talked about, they do see different walks of life.
Yeah.
Different backgrounds.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I just think that's really important. So as a business owner, if you were to put together a business plan for being a father, what are the necessities?
I just want to, like, if it's like a business, you gotta show up and be there the whole time, so things get the right way. So I think for like family, thinking like a business, I think will be the same. You just gotta be out there all the time. Try to, show how things needs to get done, or, by you doing good, they can learn just by looking, they can learn by just looking how you do things, and I think that'll be kind of like the plan. Like, they can learn from you, and then if you are there the whole time, I think things will get better. So I think it's really important for that to be present of a home. I think all the families supposed to have a dad on their house. I think it's important. So
what lesson have you learned that has really surprised you about being a father?
I learned like a lot, I think I could be more sensitive about stuff, or like sometimes like you can have fun with like really simple things, and you can learn from your kids to be more humble, to forgive easily, so I mean there's probably tons of stuff, but I just feel like I can learn from my kids too, as I live with them. So
I always thought fatherhood would be just years of me teaching my kids things.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more opposite.
Like you learn a lot from them.
I learn way more than I expected. Even, I mean, my oldest is almost 4.
Yeah.
I only have 4 years of fatherhood, and the things I've learned have shaped me and allow me to progress and be a better person, not just dad, but a completely
that's what I
better person.
Exactly.
Right?
Like you became better. you see things different, and you know what is really important too. So yeah, just you're not just becoming a good dad, you just become a good person too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So being someone that does physical labor, I'm sure there are many times where you come home late, you're tired,
Yeah.
and all your kids want is your time and
Yes.
attention.
Yes.
Is that hard for you to find that energy, or what do you do to make sure they feel loved?
So sometimes it could be hard if you're like really, really tired. But when I'm like the most tired is when they are also asleep, so you don't get like to be with them. But when you got earlier and you're also tired, you get excited too, because they are just waiting for me. They give me hugs, so they'll just hide so I can just find them and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as I come home, I just have a little bit of this amazing time, and it's magical that they are like just waiting for you. They hide and they want to give you a hug and kisses. So
Yeah.
it's special. I get a lot of that. So
What do you look forward to most in the next 10 years?
what I look for,
What do you look forward to? Like, what are you most excited about?
It's in the next 10 years, you said. Well, I just like
you're gonna have teenagers.
Yes, but I think now we have 3 kids.
Yeah.
And if Cami allows me, I want to have more. So I just see these, especially in Utah, all these families, that big families, like 7 kids or 6 or even 5.
Yeah.
This is a lot for some family. That's a lot for some moms. It's a lot. But I really want to. I kind of like that. So yeah, that's something that I would like to be, in 10 more years, have more kids and try to enjoy them and be their friends. It's hard to be a friend because you need to be a dad instead of a friend, but I kind of like want them to feel that they can tell me stuff. I want to be their friend. I want to keep be in shape so you can kind of like work with them, or you can do all the sports that they want to do. You can be as good as them.
Yeah.
So.
It scares me to death to think about when my kids are growing up, and I don't know. I just have this major fear that I won't have the energy to participate in their lives.
Yes,
to play catch, to wrestle.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
That's very important to me, and that's actually the main reason I go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because I refuse to be lazy through my kids' childhood.
Exactly. Yes.
Because they get one childhood, and I'm not gonna ruin it.
Yes, exactly. And I think about that, and also this is just, we're talking about maybe 10 years forward, but maybe 20, 30 something. I want to be still feeling good physically, so I can be playing with the grandkids,
Yeah, you can enjoy them.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't want to be sitting down, and not have the energy to play with them. So I think
I haven't thought that far ahead, but you're right.
Yeah, no, I thought about it, yeah. But yeah, so.
What do you do to take care of yourself?
So I just go to the gym. I wasn't like really good, like making decision about like what I eat or what I drink and stuff. So lately I've been drinking a lot of water. I just really want to go to the gym. I want to start doing more cardio too, so I kind of improve my heart.
Isn't painting cardio?
Well, and that's the thing. Like people say, like sometimes you're on shape or like you don't really get fat, and stuff like that. And if I don't really go to the gym, I think I still my job will be active. Like sanding ceilings, or like going up to the ladder, going back, or just setting a scaffolding. That still makes you active. So,
I think it's harder for blue collar guys that work, physical jobs. I think it's harder for them to go to the gym.
Yeah. What's a blue guy?
Blue collar, like like the trades. Plumbers, HVAC, painters, concrete guys.
Yes.
All the guys out there working.
Yes. Okay.
I think it's harder.
Yeah.
Because you're already tired.
Exactly.
Whether you go in the morning, you got to go to the gym and then go to work. You go at lunch, like you go
Yeah.
after your shift.
Yes. I think
it's hard.
It's hard. But I think what makes the situation a little easier for me, it's I'm the company, like
Yeah.
I'm the boss, this is my own, so I don't really have to explain when I'm going late, so I can just decide or just ask the people, like I'm just gonna be Is it okay if I just be there at 10 a.m. instead of like 8, so I just could go, or I can just leave the guys' work there and I can leave earlier, and then I could go to the gym. So yeah, I think it's easier just because I'm the owner of the company, but I see how it could be different and hard for other guys. Yeah,
I think it's a hard decision for a lot of men out there to take that step and go to the gym. But beyond the physical gain, for me at least, it's very healthy for my mental, right?
Yeah.
That's my escape. I work from home. I'm sitting here in my office, but
yes.
I know I get that 1 hour a day to go release some steam, to just get things off my chest, to go be totally focused on a task.
Yeah.
And that's therapeutic to me. That helps me quite a bit.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Have you experienced the same thing? Or is it all just you?
I always feel better after you go to the gym, because it's true. You have that time that you were alone, so you could, think or like rest, even though you're working, your mind is, and
I want to make sure my kids see that. Like when I go to the gym every day, I tell Lincoln, hey, I'm going to the gym. Yes. He knows Dad goes to the gym every day.
Yes, me too. Yes.
I don't want it to be, where my kids grow up scared or intimidated of the gym.
Yes.
Or athletics or
yes, I kind of want to,
like
I want them to see that too. And I think we have achieved it at some point, because Emmett is really good at doing push-ups. He can do like 30, and like good ones, know.
How old is he now?
He's 5.
That's
and for
crazy.
other kids, it's hard to do push-ups, but he does them really good, just because he's looking what I do.
Yeah, he's watched you, and I'm sure you taught him.
And then I just get this bar pull that you hang on the door so you can do pull-ups. And when my kids see me doing that, they just both want to do it, so I help them. But I think, it's good. It's important for them to learn that they have to take care of, their bodies and mind too. So, yeah.
So how do you approach your kids differently from Emmett to your girls? Because I have a daughter now. I thought I was...
That's right. Yeah.
I thought I was doing pretty good, I know boys. I have 3 brothers. I know boys, but when I found out we were having a girl, I was like, whoa, I don't know what to do.
Yes.
So I'm still trying to navigate that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, but I think it could be harder with Emmett just because he's older and he's a boy. But
Are you the oldest?
No, I'm the middle. We're 3 siblings.
Okay.
But I'm the middle. So, but I do have a sister, and then I have a younger brother too. So, yeah. But yeah, no, it's something that I'm still figuring out. Yeah, how to be different and learning, because now they're pretty similar because they're just so small. But I guess it'll be way different when they get to be teenagers. Yeah, and that's where probably I'll be learning a ton more.
Too, man.
Yes. So
sometimes it's just hard for me to be sensitive and to remember that they're just kids and they process information differently.
Yeah.
And I think our kids absorb our emotions.
Yeah.
Even if we don't, lash out and yell.
Yeah.
Like I swear Lincoln knows when I'm frustrated inside. And
they
like lately he'll tell Katie, Dad's mad at me. And I haven't even said anything yet, but I'm like, he can feel it,
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've experienced that, but it's kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, they kind of tell. They know. For sure they know when you get frustrated or a little bit mad, and then when we try to correct them, they say, "Papá se porta mal," which means he's not having a good behavior, because we start like we tell them like te está portando mal. So when we try to correct them or like teach them how to do stuff, they're like, tú te estás portando mal. So yeah, they could tell, and they know. So
do you think the happiest you've ever been is the happiest you will ever be?
Ask me that again.
Do you think the happiest you've ever been is the happiest you will ever be?
No, I think there's always happiness coming. I think there's because life surprises you, So I think when you think you're like the happiest, I think there is some moment that it's gonna be another happiest moment, Yeah. Like I remember when my kids were born, Emmett's born, it was amazing. So I thought, okay, I gone through this. I cried. It was really good, be there, my first kid, And I thought for my second kid, it wasn't going to be that emotional because I already experienced it. but it was just the same, So I was happy at that moment, and I thought I couldn't, get the happiness again. But then when Beth was born, the same, and then Millie, the same thing, So I think there's just life is just gonna give you all more of those moments. So
yeah, I wish I had more of that mindset in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Not about my kids being born, but more just about, life is magical.
Yes.
And I don't know where that comes from, but sometimes I feel like we lose it as we get older. We lose the ability to dream like a child, but I also think it's important that our kids still recognize that we can dream.
Yeah.
And the world is magical.
Yeah.
Experiencing things for the second time through my boy's eyes has been very special to me. Mm-hmm. Like, we just went to Disneyland 2 weeks ago, and he discovered what pirates are because we went on the pirate ride. And, I haven't thought about pirates in years, but he thinks they're so cool. So I'm like looking at pirate costumes and pirate swords and everything, it's fun to be excited like a kid.
Yes.
Along with my kids. So, I want to know what your message to, I guess, immigrants that have a dream of coming here and creating a life for themselves. What's your message to them?
I think they just gotta go for it. Yeah, because this country gives you tons of opportunities that is hard to get sometimes in our countries. So I think if they just want it, they just should go for it. But at the same time, coming here must be or could be really difficult for some other countries than Chile. But I think if you just really want it, you just gotta do it. And then, if you just get here and you're just a hard worker and you believe in yourself, I think you're just gonna be whatever you want, So
you were obviously committed because you recently became a U.S. citizen, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that journey, because from what I understand, it was pretty hard.
Yeah, but for me, again, I don't think it was like that hard, because the same thing, I just came here with a student visa, and then I became a resident, and then after you are just married for a couple of years, you can apply to be a citizen, and then you just became a citizen. So it wasn't hard for me, but I could see how it could be hard for other people, because when I was getting out this part of like the citizenship, when we were like in the reunion with all these people that got the same thing as me.
Yeah.
Some people were crying,
Yeah.
Like they were like, I'm so happy about that moment.
Don't they have you pledge allegiance? Like you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's some point in this reunion that some people can just go on the front and they can just say a few words, There were people like saying how hard that was for them. But for me it wasn't, because it just came kind of like natural, As I, stay here, I just needed to kind of like wait more than anything, because I could always travel and all that stuff. So yeah.
So you have a U.S. passport now?
Yeah.
And was that decision, did you have to think on it for a bit, or did you know that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, no, I just wanted it. Yeah.
And does that create more opportunities now that you have
I don't think so. Maybe I can go to more countries without having a visa than in Chile,
true.
but now there's some countries in South America that I need to get a visa. So like my friends and I were just planning on, my cousins were planning on having this trip to Venezuela, and I'm probably just have to had a harder time than them, because I need to get a visa to go there now. So
gotcha.
So it's stuff like that. But
so if you could go back in time and talk to 20-year-old Felipe, what would you tell him?
I'll say maybe like that you're doing right. You're gonna get keep dreaming big, or like you're just gonna get whatever. Because what happened to me, just like in the beginning of the conversation, I can like dream big, but I didn't know because I had kind of had like a roof.
Yeah.
Until I came to United States, like I just broke that roof. So
Yeah.
just I'll say just keep dreaming. You're just gonna get. You deserve it. So
Awesome.
I'll say that. Yeah.
My last question is, if there's one message you could leave with your kids when you're no longer here, what is that message?
This is something that I never thought about, you know. But they have to trust themselves, and they can just kind of like the same. They can just, if they have a goal, they just have to trust on themselves and know that everything is possible, especially if they were born in the United States. So yeah, they could just be and be whatever they want, and they can be whoever. If they want to study something and be like a professional, they can just make it. So
yeah, awesome. I love that.
Believe in themselves. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts and insights and stories. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Proud to call you friend and proud of you as a father.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much.
Cool. Thank
you. Appreciate it. Yep.